God still has a great purpose in front of you. He saw what happened. He saw what they did, who left you out, what you lost. He said He would pay you back double for the unfair things. He said He has beauty for those ashes. There's something you have to do, though. Can't sit around in defeat, nursing your wounds. Why did this happen to me? Don't put a question mark where God has put a period. Part of faith is trusting when life doesn't make sense. We're never going to understand everything that happens. You can't let one betrayal, one divorce, one bad season sour the rest of your life. I know it wasn't fair. I know it was painful. It wasn't your fault. But you can't stop there. You have a responsibility to get back up.
If you want to scratch around in the barnyard for the rest of your life, then just don't have any enemies and just don't have any problems and just don't go through any offense. But if you want to soar like an eagle, you can, but it's going to require some opposition. In other words, airplanes take off going into the wind because it's the wind that gives the airplane something called the lift. Without the wind opposing the wings of that plane, it won't get lift.
Some of you are taking too much time trying to convince people to love you that do not matter. Tolerating and trying to get people engaged that don't matter, that don't care, that are never ever going to help you get into your destiny.
If you keep doing what you've been doing, you're going to keep getting what you've been getting. So if you're at a place in your life and you ain't happy with it, you have to change some things. But you have to make a conscientious decision that you're going to change. And it's not dependent on anybody else. It don't matter what your mama think. It don't matter what your coworkers think. It don't matter what your siblings think. It don't matter. This decision is yours and yours alone.
I want to tell you something today. The moment you make up your mind to get up, you can get up. And no devil in hell, no government, no power, no boss, or anything else can hold you. Once you are free in your mind, you are free.
Listen to this. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Don't let what you're experiencing now convince you that you can't overcome it. You can. You're stronger than you realize. Sometimes we're not as strong as we can be until we have to be strong. When you're pursuing your greatness, you don't know what your limits are, so you act like you don't have any.
We find ourselves announcing our standards to our relatives, our friends, our associates. We shout our beliefs and condemn those who believe any differently, but then we don't walk the talk. We end up acting in a way far different from the beliefs we've shouted. This is inconsistent. This leads to a loss of credibility among those who watch us. And more importantly, this leads to a loss of credibility within ourselves. The only thing worse than one who is inconsistent in applying their self-imposed discipline is one who has never considered the need or the value of discipline at all.
Every single time I hear about an issue, every single time I hear another story of pain, every single time I see a seemingly impossible situation, I smile wryly because I know by the grace of God and by His power, I have a testimony. Come on, it is never too late.
Kiss that wrong self-image goodbye. Victory starts in your thinking. Abundance, it starts in our mind. You can't think the same way and expect different results. Start embracing who God says you are.
And now you want to watch as well as pray. You want to be vigilant. And you want to live life like you mean it. You want to be intentional at creating special moments. You want to be intentional in taking care of yourself. I'm going to come up with a plan of action to lose this weight. I'm going to come up with a plan of action to be peaceful and and create a drama-free zone. I'm taking responsibility for my life.
Let me tell you something. It's easier to go from failure to success than it is from excuses to success. The moment you make excuses for your life, you take the exit off of where you're trying to go. Because excuses give you a reason for not being exceptional. It gives you a reason for not showing up. It gives you a reason for not delivering the goods. It gives you a reason for not being the person that you wanted to be. Remember this, excuses always shrink your stature. Excuses always pull you. Excuses are the quicksand in the land of the living. And the moment that you begin to excuse yourself and make it a lifestyle, you never can be a person of excellence and you can never be a person of success. People that have excelled at the top of their profession because they shelved excuses and said, I will not use it, but I will be a person that pursues excellence in my life. Today, get rid of excuses. It's like this, my friend. If ifs and buts were candies and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
Just because you're used to it doesn't make it normal.
You have to put your foot down and say, that's it. I may have gone through some disappointments. I may have made some mistakes, but I'm not going to waste the time I have left worried about what I could have done better, upset over what didn't work out. I'm stepping out of the was and I'm coming over into the is. I'm dropping the offense, dropping the failure, dropping the hurt. I'm not living my life with any more baggage. I'm going to live my life free. It's time to drop it and move forward. You may be a product of your past, but you don't have to be a prisoner of your past.
I think that a lot of people make the mistake of they confuse who they're letting themselves be for who they really are. And the distance between who you're letting yourself be and who you really are is your override. You've got to turn that thing on. You've got to turn it on. So what I'm saying to you is that you've got to ask yourself those questions. You've got to ask yourself, what's my override? What are you telling yourself when you're about to sabotage yourself?
So what kind of courage do you have? Is yours sort of floating between depending on the situation? Or do you know the difference between right and wrong for your life? And you've made up your mind. Our mind is the control tower of our life. All of our decisions are there. And the truth is, whatever we are today is the result of what we've been thinking about all those years. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So if you don't like what's going on around you, maybe you should ask yourself the question, what am I thinking about? What do I think about myself? What do I think about other people?
But it's hard to let go of what you've been holding on to for so long, even if it's not working anymore. It's really hard to let go. It's like, beg you, see it differently. I beg you to let go. It's not normal. It's just old.
Poor thinking habits keeps most people poor. Not poor working habits. Most people work hard, but they don't think hard. The mind is like a factory, a mental factory. And whatever you think about all day long pours ingredients into this mental factory. And that's what builds the economic, social, financial fabric of your life. As you think, so you become.
See, many things we don't do because of the fact we want people to like us. There's some necessary losses in life. When you decide acting in your best interest, you're going to lose some friends. Everybody's not going to approve of you. There's some people that won't like you. Who do you think you are? You're arrogant. What do you think you can do? You're selfish. Thanks, I got that.
One of the best things I've learned is to trust God's timing and trust His ways. What God promised will come to pass, but it may not happen the way you think, may not be when you had planned. If you're trying to control the outcome and control the time frame, you're going to live worried. You have to release control. Release having to have it happen your way. God already has it figured out. He knows the end from the beginning.
People want to know how to stop the laziness, and they want to know how to stop the procrastination. They have some idea in their head, some kind of a vision, what they want to do, but they don't know where to start. They don't know where to start it, you know? They don't know where to start. And so they say, hey, where do I start? And when's the best time to start? And I have a very simple answer for that. Here and now.
I'm not just playing around. I'm not just beating the air. I'm not shadow boxing. I'm not just goofing off. Life is too important to waste your life. He says, when I fight to win. I want to win in my marriage. I want to win in my finances. I want to win in my career. I want to win in my spiritual growth. I want to win in my character. I don't fight to place. I fight to win.
The first thing you got to do in order for change to take place in your life is you got to have a desire to change. The second thing that you got to do if you want change in your life, you got to stop making excuses. Because an excuse will stop change. Are you hiding behind your veil of excuses, noticing that you're still the same? Do you continue to come up with excuses that continue to stop change? Because that's what excuses do. Excuses guarantee failure. Why? Because excuses won't let you enter into change. An excuse is an enemy to change. But we make a lot of them. An excuse is an enemy to change. Excuses are nails used to build a house of failure. It's going to fail. Let me give you a definition of the word excuse. An excuse is me removing myself from the path of blame. In other words, anytime I sense that blame is coming towards me, I've got to come up with a reason or an explanation to remove myself out of that path so it can hit somebody else. I'm not willing to stay in the past and accept responsibility for that. And what you're really saying is, I'm making an excuse because I ain't ready to change. And I continue to give you excuse after excuse after excuse because I'm not ready to make the change. Me moving myself out of the path of blame. It is so easy to blame it on somebody else. To release the power to change, we must stop making excuses, or the power of change is stuck. It's stranded.
The moment that most people give up is the moment of the greatest opportunity. Everything you want is on the other side of not giving up. And I promise you, when God puts a dream in your heart, the nightmare will come. What is the nightmare? It's the pathway to your destiny. You cannot get to the dream without the nightmare and the pathway of the nightmare.
My beliefs really do dictate my destiny. The question becomes, how do I change my beliefs? And in that is an inherent challenge, because by definition, beliefs are that which are true, right, for us. My way of breaking out of it was at one point to understand that there were only two states of emotional beingness that I could be in at any given point. I could either be in a powerful state of being, or I would be in a primal state of being.
God may be giving you more to work with than what you are working with at this time. You may have far more things that you can potentially do than what you're doing right now. That's why I don't like to hang with low-thinking people, because they'll make you underutilize what God has given you. You need somebody to challenge you that you could be doing more than what you're doing right now. You could have more than you have right now, and somebody's got to be bold enough to look you in the face and empower you to go into the enemy's camp and take back what he stole from you.
Upset because your plans didn't work out. It's time to kiss some things goodbye. Don't bring bitterness into a new year. Don't bring self-pity, a chip on your shoulder. That was in your past. It doesn't belong in the future. You cannot embrace the new things God has in store as long as you're holding on to the old.
I want to encourage somebody out there who's thinking about quitting and giving up. Somebody who has been praying for years for things to turn around. You're thinking about quitting. You're thinking about giving up. You are folding. You are caving in. This is for you.
You're in this storm and you're down on your knees and you're cold and you're weak and you feel like this is the end. You have a choice to either give up or keep going. Give up or get up.
Don't give up. Don't give up. Stay in it. Stay focused.
When you fail, try again and again and again. You just take one step at a time.
It's hard, but it's worth fighting. It's worth believing. It's worth mustering yourself up, standing up inside yourself. It's worth fighting relentlessly, never giving up. I love the sun, but things don't grow because of the sun. You have to have some rain. And you've got to stop looking at rain in your life as something bad. My greatest moments didn't come from my greatest moments. My greatest moments came from my greatest defeats. Because it was during my defeat that I had to find a way to get back up. You thought for 1 minute that you broke me. You got me twisted. I am not phenomenally skilled, but phenomenally willed. I will not give up. I will not surrender. I will not quit. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop running towards your dream. Stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. Keep your head up. Stick your chest out. Continue to walk with pride. And know that if it was easy, everybody would do it. It's not going to be easy, but we have what it takes. Their rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass. Don't say I'm having a bad day. Say I'm having a character building day. Don't look at night as darkness. Look at night as a new beginning.
Chẳng được quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em đã quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không cần mơ em anh nhận màu. Em chỉ cần mơ đâu em bay. Chỉ còn là những cơn mưa vô giá. Cho bên mơ em không mơ anh. Anh một đêm mơ. Chỉ cần bên em không được còn nhớ. Và chỉ có em không còn nhớ. Và người ta bên nhau như ngã tớ. Muốn nhớ về say em chỉ có mấy em ở đây. Và anh như muốn chết đi nhưng không muốn em mãi. Tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu không qua mai để mà mơ. Chỉ có bên em nhưng là khó mơ. Giờ mà đang xa dạ, em muốn bên ai dạ. Anh không mong gì hơn, chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần. Anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau, mà đêm em đâu anh có em, một đêm bên anh có em. Ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu, ôm anh.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away, as you fade away.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away, cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby I have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I can't control the pain. If you're sticking by my side, maybe we could be okay. Okay, maybe you could be the change I need today. I promise that I've never felt this way. I really hope that you will choose to stay through all the pain.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong